your face, you fucking coward.
My pleasure.
Let him go, smart guy. Because obviously they don't watch enough movies. This is standard horror movie stuff. Prom Night Revisited, man.
Yeah? Why would he want to kill his own girlfriend?
There's always some stupid bullshit reason to kill your girlfriend. That's the beauty of it all. Simplicity. Besides, if it gets too complicated, you lose your target audience.
Well, what's his reason?
Maybe Sydney wouldn't have sex with him. His body will come popping up in the last reel somewhere. Eyes gouged out, fingers cut off, teeth knocked out. See, the police are always off track with this shit. If they watch Prom Night, they'd save time. There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect. I'm telling you, the dads are ready.
Thanks, Dewey, with my luck, I guessed Tori's spelling.
Also killed her mother the year before that.
So what kind of research did you do for the part?
Get it. They get Tori's
Research did you do for the part?
Get it. They get Tori's spellings placed in, and they cast Joe Blow nobody.
No crime against God's hideous vision on me.
Poor soul from getting mutilated. If this killer does come back and he's for real, there are a few things that you gotta remember. Is this simply another sequel? Well, if it is, the same rules apply. But here's the critical thing. If you find yourself dealing with an unexpected backstory and a preponderance of exposition, then the sequel rules do not apply. Because you are not dealing with a sequel. You are dealing with the concluding chapter of a trilogy. That's right. It's a rarity in the horror field, but it does exist. And it is a force to be reckoned with, because true trilogies are all about going back to the beginning and discovering something that wasn't true from the get-go. Godfather, Jedi, all revealed something that we thought was true that wasn't true. So if it is a trilogy you are dealing with, here are some super trilogy rules. 1, you got a killer who's going to be superhuman. Stabbing him won't work, shooting him won't work. Basically, in the third one, you got to cryogenically freeze his head, decapitate him, or blow him up. Number 2. Anyone, including the main character, can die. This means you, Sid. I'm sorry. It's the final.
Ever since those nude pictures on the internet.
It was just my head. It was Jennifer Aniston's body. Anyway, you're forgetting something. In Woodsboro, there were more victims before the home stretch.
Coffee, donuts, Prozac. See if I can find some crack. Special KX, not Malcolm.
Involved in Woodsboro. Could be any one of us.
Okay, so what do you want to do, bonehead? You just want to sit here and wait and see who drops next?
Well, I don't know. Bonehead.
Gail's not here.
I'm not interrupting anything, am I? You'll never be the leading man.
Fuck you!
No matter.
Just a moment, Mr. I'm so original. Huh? Where's your innovation, huh? Why copycat 2 high school loser-ass dickheads? Stu was a pussy-ass wet rat. And Billy Loomis, what the fuck? Jesus. What a rat-looking, homo-repressed mama's boy. Why not set your goals higher, huh? You want to be one of the big boys? Huh? Manson? Bundy? OJ? OJ?
bodyguard, no movie.
What are you doing?
I am Gail Weathers. Here's how I see it. I've got no house, no bodyguard, no movie, and I'm being stalked. Because someone wants to kill me? No, because someone wants to kill you. So now, starting now, I go where you go. That way, if someone wants to kill me, I'll be with you. And since they really want to kill you, they won't kill me. They'll kill you. Make sense?
None. You need to get in that building. Yeah, there's a story in that building. Maybe Gail Weathers would find a way.